Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well today. We're going to be looking at your new lover's lonely heart ad. Basically, we're going to have a little look at who they are, what they're looking for, and what they want in a relationship. And we're going to sum it up with a bit of writing in a lonely heart ad sort of style. Right. You've got 3 piles, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. If you want to take your choice, and then we'll get going.
La música de Harry Frog.
Right, I think the person who's putting the ad in the paper for you is somebody who is not immediately, don't leave me on this one, is not immediately good looking. It's the type of person when you take a photo and you think, oh, actually, no, they're not that attractive. But once you get to know them, you realise why everybody fancies them. It's somebody who's looking for a long-term relationship rather than a one-night stand. They are somebody who's gentle, somebody who's easygoing, probably very artistic, very creative, maybe even a musician. There's a real romantic air about this person. They wear rose-tinted glasses. They're probably younger than you, and you probably notice them, or you probably notice something about them that they're very good in working in groups. They keep the group alive. They're very witty. They're very sweet. There's an innocent air about this person, and everybody falls in love with them. And what they would put a lonely ad in the paper for is somebody who's older than them. They're looking for somebody with more experience in many ways. They're looking for somebody who's going to teach them the ropes in many ways, and also somebody who has a bit of power behind them. It's got that Cancer Moon type of feel about it that with Colin Farrell and Helen Mirren. When she was talking about Colin Farrell trying to knock down her hotel room to get to her. And I can remember thinking there's quite an age gap there. That's what it's making me think. This person's looking for somebody who has been through life, is quite tough, very sexually experienced in many ways, but still with a real romantic air. And they're looking for a long-term relationship. There's definitely a Cancer feel with this. It's a Cancer Capricorn type of feel. It's almost like opposites attract in some ways, but there's enough familiarity to keep you both together. It wouldn't surprise me whether you've been through some hardships in life and this person comes into your life and you connect because you've still got that soft and gentle heart. Both of you are quite soft and gentle, but I think your person's less bruised with life as you. They may be younger. They just have a real sensitive, idealistic view, and there's no boundaries with this person. They assume that everybody's the same. With you, I think there initially wasn't any boundaries, but I think possibly second marriage type of feel this person could be, as in you could be on your second marriage, or there's just the air of seeing a bit more life and having more boundaries and knowing where you stand, as if you've been through trials to be who you are, and that's you. Right, let me just have look a little bit further into this. This person may come into your life at a time when you have, because you've got the Tower here as well with Pluto and the Devil here, so it makes me think they may come into your life. This may actually be a second relationship, so I don't know whether this is going to be the first person in your life. If it's the first main person, it could be the second. I don't know, because you've got the Tower here, and with the Devil and Pluto, it makes me think that you may have just come out of a relationship or a situation which has made you look at life in a completely different way. And it's been hard, and what you're actually looking for at this time, because you possibly, in the past could have been looking for intensity more so, maybe looking for somebody stronger. But I think that you've been through the mill and everything's hurting, everything's painful, you're picking yourself up. This type of character comes into your life just at the right time. And it's the emotional bits, it's the emotional connection that you share that makes it the right relationship at the right time, because it's going to bring a sense of ease back into your life, a sense of calm, a sense of just connecting and everything just being at the right pressure. You've got this Temperance card here, which is like that. I don't even know what this is because I'm about as practical as I don't know, a wet fish. And there was an analogy I was reading the other day about the Tower card and Temperance card. And the Tower card was basically, if there was a dam, the Tower card was when you blow the dam to, when you basically dynamite the dam. And then the Temperance card is when you've got just a little bit of water trickling through, it's just the right amount. So it's almost as if your dam has been busted and then this person comes back in and just lets life flow through to you, through you, flow through to you just the right amount. Just the right amount, because what's making me think this, as you've got these two, so it's got to be something to do with balancing emotions and balancing everything in the mundane world, because the Temperance card in the normal Rider Waite has 1 foot in the water, and these are both watery signs, and then 1 foot on the ground. So there's something to do with the correct balance between emotions and letting it seep into your life in just the right amount. Because I think in the past, before you meet this person, it's almost as if the intensity you may have yearned in your younger years would be too much for you now. You've been burnt and you don't want to go down that track again. I mean, the Four of Wands, this guy is going to, this doesn't matter male or female, it's just somebody who's quite watery, quite romantic, quite sweethearted, rose-tinted glasses, going to come into your life and give you the stability that you're just ready for. If you met this person when you were younger, you probably wouldn't be interested because you were probably a bit of a party man or a bit of a party woman. And you were going for the Jack the Lad type that was going to pique your excitement rather than give you emotional fulfillment. So I think this person is going to be just the ticket at the right time. It makes me think of Forrest Gump when Jenny goes home. When Jenny's not interested, I don't know, but when Jenny's not interested in him because... for reasons which are probably quite obvious in the film. And then she goes through a hard time. She goes to college and goes through a couple of men and drugs and bits and bobs, and then goes back to Forest. And then it's just the right person, just at the right time. That's what is making me think this person will come into your life at just the right time for you. There's less intensity, there's more love, there's more ease, there's more of a group situation, rather than this pile here with regards to you makes me think of a more intense one-to-one situation where sex has a big impact on your relationship, and this person is less boundaries, more at ease themselves. It's as if you go out in groups again rather than just the intensity of one-to-one, and it's just laughter and it's fun. This person's looking for a long-term relationship. They're looking for comfort and security. They're looking for something long-term. And it's not the type of, when I said earlier about looking at a photo and it not being the type of person you fall in love with visually at first, but once you get to know them, you don't want anybody else to snap them up. It's that type of feeling, but it hasn't got a dull feeling to it. It's got a feeling of, because this person's younger than you. I think this person's going to be younger than you. It's got a Pisces feeling of being just sweet, no boundaries, very giving, very innocent. There's just like that sweet connection there, which you have inside you, but I think you've sort of, in your younger years, may have just pushed it aside for a bit more rambunctious fun. And this person comes into your life, gives you the stability and provides you with a love that's constant. rather than past relationships which could have been on, off, fantastic sex, no contact, fantastic sex, no contact. That's what it's making me think of. I'm just going to put a few more out to see if we can get anything else out of this. It makes me think of a relationship where the person is looking for do you know, it's making me think of like subdued activity, and I don't know what I'm thinking here. I'm thinking because I keep thinking the Emperor, and I said this in a reading the other day, the Emperor and Capricorn always make me think of golf, and the Fool card here, I'm so sorry if you don't like golf, the Fool card here makes me think of action and movement. The Emperor here, I'm thinking Capricorn, Aries. Aries is action, Capricorn is what I consider contained fun, because I thought of golf doesn't really get me. But it's sport, it's movement, but it's contained, and it's almost got a social structure to you. People used to play golf. I don't know if they still do. I don't know anything about golf, where it's more of a, it can often be a business sort of deal type of thing, where you are going to meet business clients. King of Swords. Once again, an intellectual. Right, okay, I think I've got this. I'm going to write this out. Right, Your Lonely Planet. I'm going to go for this one. Come on. Hold on. Got the right colour. Right then, this is quite insulting, so please excuse me. It says, sweet guitar playing mummy's boy seeks emotional big loving lady or man for wild nights or rampant sex. I will include my photo if required, but please don't burn it. Looking for a long-term commitment and a golf partner. Please don't walk away or I'll cry. So that is a really strange one to start with. So sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't read that any other way. Can't read it. I can't. Sorry. That's what I've got. It's somebody who's younger, more sensitive, more emotional, looking for somebody older, very similar, with Pluto with some intensity behind them with regards to their life. You've got here a commitment with somebody who is very talented but not seen as being particularly good looking. So the 7th house there. And here you've got 4 of Wands, Temperance and the Tower. So I'm assuming that the Tower here has got something to do with an intensity that turns into something that's a little bit more tranquil in many ways, and then the stability there. So it's this person's looking for a long-term relationship. The Emperor next to the Fool and the King of Swords is controlled. It's business, and then it's to me is a feeling of movement forward where it gets a bit more, I would say, athletic. So I just kept thinking of golf. Provider of logic and impartial judgment, the Emperor, and go. I am so sorry about that. I did try my best. Please don't shoot the messenger on that one. I'm going to leave that one there, pile number 1. My apologies. I will hopefully see you again. Probably not. Bye.
La música de Harry Frog.
Right then, pile number 2. What I'm getting from this is that your person is going to be younger than you. So the person who's going to put the ad in the paper is going to be younger than you. They're going to be somebody who falls in love very easily, somebody who is very easygoing and doesn't enjoy contentious issues. I was thinking there. Somebody, I've got the yes card here, is somebody who likes to, it's a bit of a, and the Venus here, Libra can sometimes be a little bit of a people pleaser in some ways, and the Page of Cups makes me think of innocence. So I wonder whether when you meet this person, they're going to be very sweet natured, very innocent, very open, very beautiful, and almost somebody who at that time is a little bit softer than you. Things may develop though. You're coming across as being older, more intellectually astute. You've got a bit of feist inside you. You may also, as well as Power 1, be on like a second marriage type of feel. You may have children. You be more direct in your speech. This person, you're almost as if you need to pin them down occasionally to give you a correct answer or the right answer because they like to please. There's somebody who's extremely attractive and lots of people are drawn to them. But there's the thing that actually brings you both together is some sort of, I'm going to say rather obscure sexual bond. I don't know what I mean by that. Jonathan Ross is the person here, and he's very candid, he's very open, and his interview style is rather controversial in some ways. He can be quite rude. He was sacked from the BBC through some sort of scandal, so I'm thinking scandalous. The 8th house here with regards to connection makes me think of either you're brought together after the death of a situation or the death of a person, or there's some sort of, it makes me think of you being married when this person comes into your life, possibly being older, and this person being a lot younger than you and has an edge of I'm not thinking of Tim with Mel Gibson. I'm not thinking of that, but I am. It's the feeling that you are older, more brusque, more experienced, had a bit of a tougher. It makes me think you'll meet this person when you're older, and this person will be all sweetness and light and loving. And I think it may actually cause some sort of scandal. And I don't know what the scandal will be. It's almost as if a relationship that shouldn't happen. It may not have to do with the age gap. It could be just to do that people just don't expect it. And it doesn't actually fit in their expectations of what relationship should be. But it works for you both. So that maybe it isn't like sexual. Maybe it's just that feeling of scandal and talk, and I don't think that will bother you with regards to this person. So if this person were put an ad in the paper, it would be something very sweet, very innocent, very loving, and they probably have a lot of people after them. You will be a little bit older, you will be very direct compared to them, and you may have children already. So this could be something, if you don't have children, this person could be somebody that comes into your life later. But there's definitely something to do with it not being accepted by society. Fantastic. Right, let me just go on to the next bit. There's going to be a really strong connection between the pair of you. It's very exciting, it's very original, it's very different from any relationship you've been in before. There's a real connection that is sexual and also very sweet. It may be something with the fact you've got two harder cards here, the Six of Swords and Mars. It may be something that you didn't experience either in past relationships or in your biggest commitment if this is later on in your life. And this person comes in very much like Power 1 into your life when you are just in the need of it being something easy and sweet, and you just fall in love. There's enthusiasm, there's affection, and there's just romance here all clapped together. Do you know this? I was going to actually try and turn this into an activity that this person would put into their ad, but you've got the go card here, you've got holding on tight avenue, and you've got secrets. So with regards to these cards here with Jonathan Ross and the 8th house, there's something rather seedy going on. So not in a negative way, I'm sure. There's something to do. Holding on tight avenue. The Fool makes me think of activity. The High Priestess makes me think of some sexual activity. So I am thinking that you two meet in some sort of scandalous, I'm going to say scandalous, not in your eyes, but in everybody else's eyes relationship. I'm trying to pick what it is, because the Six of Swords here is a bird flying away with eggs in its nest. So I wonder, and the fact that you may be older than this person, whether you've been in a relationship and people don't actually think, it's almost like finding, a bit like Power One, finding something that's younger than you that you just fall in love with and it just feels right, but it's almost seen in everybody else's eyes as scandalous. But with these cards here at the bottom makes me think there's a real sort of lovers connection here, holding on tight avenue. These two are just holding on tight, and I know that made me think in a sexual way because you had the go card here and I was looking for activities. And the High Priestess, it's a bond that is hidden, I think, initially from everybody else. But it's almost as if it's like a match that's lit and neither of you can put it out, and it starts into a fire and starts roaring, and then it just wasn't expected. It's not expected from your point of view and society's point of view. But I don't know, because they're younger. There's an air of innocence about them, and with you there's a more direct air, a more awareness of who you are and where you stand in life. And I think you may possibly have, this could be moving home as well. You could be just in movement, but there's something scandalous. 8th house and Jonathan Ross here. And then there's a sexual pull here. Right, okay, I'm going to write your ad now. So... Right, so your person's lonely hearts ad would be young, enthusiastic lover boy girl looking for a mature, nurturing man lady to enter into scandalous relationship. Must enjoy deep connections with a lot of close contact. Please apply to P.O. Box, Hold On Tight Avenue, 678. Right, so that's for you there. Okay. Right, let's go on to, thank you very much, pile number 2. I'm going to move now on to pile number 3. Right, pile number 3, let's have a look. Right, okay, I think that the person that's going to put this lonely ad into the paper, not that people do that anymore, but is going to be somebody who's quite feisty, quite adventurous, quite mature, in years probably more so than mentality, somebody who's quite quick-witted, somebody who likes to watch and take in life and then come back. It is like a comedian, somebody that watches, very observant at the nuances in life, and then basically in some way almost takes it internally and then brings it out in some form of communication. It makes me think possibly of a comedian, or maybe a lawyer, or somebody who works in some creative industry. But somebody who's very forward moving, somebody who's very direct, somebody who is in charge of themselves. somebody who looks after other people as well. They've got that sort of feeling of being quite protective, but being quite forceful with their protectiveness, as in they're quite forward moving. They don't just wait for situations to happen. They go and nip them in the bud before they actually become to fruition. You're coming across as somebody quite mature as well, more emotional, definitely more emotional, extremely hardworking. It wouldn't surprise me whether there's something to do with the work situation that there's a connection there. I'm not going to say there's a connection there initially because it's a lonely heart's ad. There's some secrecy between the pair of you, or in the situation to begin with. Because I think with Noel Fielding here, the situation is slightly different. There's something that is not normal with regards to your normal type or your normal type of relationship. You're coming across as a mixture of being emotional but very controlled in what you want and the way life should be lived. So there's a real mixture here with you of liking routine and liking things to be orderly, but also the need for an emotional contact. This person needs a more mental contact. It's somebody I think has got a very good sense of humour. With Mercury here and the King of Wands, it makes me think of somebody that makes people laugh. And they're very observant with the Hangman here. I think you're more emotionally observant. They're more observant with life's quirks, so they can interpret them to make life funnier, make life bigger. It has a Sagittarius feel with Mercury here as well. And I know Mercury isn't fire, but there's a feeling with the King of Wands and Mercury, just somebody who is funny. Somebody who's different. It's making me think of Billy Connolly, that type of character. Somebody who is very good at thinking on their toes. Somebody who is quite different. Somebody who comes into your life like a blast rather than a trickle. There's a real emotional connection there, and this person just feels very different from your normal type. I think this person is going to come into your life when you are ready to settle down. I don't mean settle down as in like buy the house and you're in your 30s or 40s or whatever. It's more a case of you're just more settled in yourself. The Knight of Pentacles here is somebody who's offering you something practical. You've got the Six of Pentacles here. It makes me think that's something that you possibly are attracted to. Somebody that can offer something solid rather than just whispers in your ears. Yes. Two of Swords here makes me think there's a decision going on. Confusion maybe with the Moon here. There's some feeling of your love and the fact there's two kings here. Your love almost being like a mature feel to it. As in it's giving you something that makes you feel like you're established. So it's a real sort of family feel. A real sort of, it's like buying the house together. That type of feeling. If you're a lot younger when you meet this person, they just make you feel stable. If you felt a bit wavery in past partnerships, this person gives you the stability. It's quite constant, is there when you need them. It's a bit like the person you can fall back on when everything goes wrong. Right, I think that your person possibly could be a lawyer or into law in some way, but they take a different stance on it. There's something to do with a lot of working behind the scenes. There's a lot of feeling with your person that they work behind the scenes and they're very good mentally. Because you've got the 12th house here, you've got the King of Wands and you've got Justice. So there's a feeling of somebody who actually fights for things to be just, a bit of a... And they want to include you on this, in this sort of action or the way that they move forward in life. There's the Knight of Wands down here, messenger of acting first and thinking later. So quite impetuous area about this person. Four of Wands. So I think they would want to include you. It's like Imal and George Clooney here, that's you two. It's that feeling of admiration for personalities and careers that swaps both ways. I mean, George Clooney's got, I think his moon is conjunct Jupiter, and I think he's Aquarius rising. They say Pisces, he's not. He's had 2 Aquarius type women, the main relationships in his life. So he admires Amal's independence. He admires the fact that she fights for causes that are not just including herself. They're bigger, you know, they're wider scheme of things. I don't know this, I'm making this up. This is what I'm assuming. And there's something to do with you two where this connection is similar in that way, where there's admiration for a person who can use their mind to almost, in a wider sense, to include other people. And there's a sense of justice. So it just makes me think of like a lawyer or somebody who works for charities or some humanitarian issue. But there's still that impetuous, different feel about this relationship or this ad, which I'm going to turn into in a minute. A feeling of stability. Okay, I'm going to have a go. Here goes. Right, number 3, wild humanitarian free thinker looking for a hard-working lady or man to share their ideals. I need a partner who can help me solve issues on a large scale and not shy away from hard work. In return, I can make your life a smorgasbord of adventure and travel. Can you see all that? Right, I don't know if that rings true for you because it probably hasn't happened yet. But that's just what I'm getting from that pile there. And I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope to see you again. Bye.